Hi guys, it's Runbuck with Runbuck on Games. I've got another deck breakdown for you from Clash Royale. This time I'm taking a look at a mix that won or broke my streak of 13 wins and victories in a row. So I was on a roll. And it's interesting that I've seen this deck a few times. It's a combination of Witch from way back. It's a build kind of deck. Witch, then Giant, then Spear Goblins, then Arrows to take out what's attacking the Giant, then Goblin Barrel to close on the tower. So let's take a look at it and see. This guy had won 300 wins in a row, capping out around 2,000 with it, and see how it works and maybe how I can counter it with the deck I have in my hand. I don't want to hear about deck differences that are massively different, but if you wanted to tweak one, I could think about it. Here's one change I could do. I didn't press up with the Expo because usually I'm playing back to begin matches to see what's in the deck of the opponent. But in this case it burned me because I basically gave him that elixir collector for early stage, and then here begins his slow build. Now I do have early DPS on the Giant, but see, this Expo is just not strong enough to burn down a level 6 Giant. It's a pretty strong Giant for this level of play. So that's one of the problems, is there's a lot of health points in it, more than normal. And then notice how the arrows actually clear the units I would usually use to burn down the Giant, and at that point I don't have anything left to take out. Even though I have a Tesla right next to the tower, it's not enough. I take quite a bit of damage, 300 on the tower there, before even losing the Witch. And so, at this point, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't have played the Skeleton Army. I should have waited to kind of get a push in, because, dropping the Skeleton Army there, that's just basically a five spot play for, I really didn't achieve anything. So that was a little bit of a panic move on the Skeleton Army. I could have waited, I guess. What would that have given me? Then I nuke. Because his weakness is he's a slow builder. So if I get him to move, he has to be in one lane. So if I can get him to go off lane and work two lanes, it'll be more difficult for him. So that might be something I need to think more about. Is like, if he's going to push one lane, I need to go to the other lane and force him not to have everything in one lane. Basically like have maybe a Tesla in the mid there to misdirect and buy time while the other lane works it. But notice how this would have taken it out anyway. He did an off lane on me. And that would have been able to, like, if I had dropped the Expo and flipped to the other side, that Minion Hoard is the kind of thing that would have messed with me. So really it's a problem of there's a lot of health coming through. You got Giants plus Witches. That's usually, like, by the time it gets there, 6 skeletons on a rounded Giant, and then you've just got Spear Goblins behind it, so they're not going to get messed with, and they can deal range damage pretty well. And the Witch itself does nice AoE coupled with the arrows, right? So there's so many ways that sequence of components beat out your build here. I think it probably is a really stable an attack. So over and over, here you go. So Giant, Spear Goblins are working, Goblin Barrel. Even though my guys are there, and they're level 8. They're level 8 Goblin Barrels. So they're pretty strong as well. So he's really maxed the two main components of this attack, which is Giant. His Witches are level 2, and his Goblin Barrels are level 2. So he's got the DPS where he needs it. And see, now I can't, even just with Spear Goblins, I did take it down. That one went a little bit better. So maybe it's more of a Spear Goblin in the back, kind of a rubber banded off the tower. Let him come up, let the Witch get in, and get the Witch from behind. That might be a little bit better. Maybe that sequence is more of, instead of trying to engage and burn her down early. Right, here's a burn down early. You know what he's going to do? He's going to drop his arrows. No? Yeah, he did. No, he didn't. He Goblin Barreled because he saw the win. So he's just like, I don't need to arrow you. So anyway, if you have ideas about how I could better use my deck, or maybe with slight change, one card change or so, give me some comments down below. Otherwise, I hope it helps you guys. That mix might be something you want to try out. I definitely think I'll give it a shot if I struggle with my favorite Expo mix here that I like. Talk to you guys later.
What am I gonna do? My clan sucks. Hey, it's JTJ.
I think that's an all-out attack.
No, it's the legendary JTJU. JTJU. What? I like my horn. You and this army. Download Clash of Clans for free. Then subscribe to JTJU and win.